We live in a crazy, crazy world, and as technology speeds ahead like a freight train, every day people are finding it harder and harder to know or understand what's true, false, or simply based on perspective. And everywhere you turn, there's another vague, empty promise luring you into ideals of a paradise life on the beach that required no work to get there. But the harsh truth is that simply doesn't exist outside winning the lottery. And you've probably heard things like super successful CEOs that wake up at 5 a.m. every day, or exercise every day, or meditate 10 hours a day. And I bet you've probably even tried some of these things only to fall out of that pattern quickly. And I know all about it because I've been there and still go through that myself. So that begs the question, what is the solution? If all people are created equal and we all have the same 24 hours in the day, why are some people more successful than others? It can be summarized into one word: habits. Which begs the important question: how do you actually stick to new habits, and why should you? Or should you just give up? Let me offer you the solution and the one habit you should follow to change your life. It's called gamification. And gamification is probably the one thing that changed my life most drastically, taking me from an accountant to living the life that I had really always dreamed of. And basically what gamification is turning creating new and more productive habits into a game. And I do this in all aspects of my life. And let me give you a couple of examples to really cement this. There's been a lot of research and studies and TV shows and all types of things created about trying to lose weight. And one of the most successful ways that's ever actually been figured out in order to help someone lose weight and create new habits actually involves gamification itself. Websites like HealthyBet and DietBet are perfect examples of this, creating unbelievable results for people trying to lose weight by gamifying the results, right? When you actually bet into something and you have a financial incentive in order to change your habits, you're so much more likely to break those negative habits and turn them into productive new ones that actually stick. Because there's been study after study that's proven that it takes over 20 days of consistently doing the same thing over and over and over again in order to make that habit stick. And unless you figure out a way to actually gamify creating that new habit, especially if it's something like quitting all the foods you love or doing something that's really difficult to actually form into a habit, most people are likely to give up. So let me give you a couple examples of how I've used gamification in my own life to really create ridiculous results. One of the things that I struggled with most was waking up early in the morning. And as easy as that sounds for some people, it's actually pretty difficult when you are an entrepreneur and you don't operate on any specific schedule. I don't have to be at work at a certain time. I don't really have to do anything. And when you don't have any strict schedule, it's very easy to fall into the habit of sleeping in. And what I found was I was starting to sleep in till 10 or 11 o'clock in the morning, staying up till 3 or 4 in the morning. And so I wanted to reverse my sleep schedule and get into an actual positive habit of being awake when most people are awake rather than being my normal night owl self. And so the way that I did that was actually one of my employees and one of my good friends, we created a gamified bet between one another with a financial incentive. I told him, Tyler, if I don't wake up and I'm not actively texting you by 9 o'clock in the morning, I will pay you $1,000 for every day that I don't do that. And if you have any sense of competition, which most people in the world do, right? Most people in general are very competitive and don't like to lose. It's just human nature. You better believe that I never, ever again woke up past 9 o'clock in the morning, not even necessarily because of the money, but just because I didn't want to lose. And so he and I formed what I like to call an accountability partner with each other, and we gamified the creation of that new habit. And then lo and behold, after 3 weeks of doing that, my body naturally woke up before 9 o'clock in the morning, no matter what time I went to bed, because of my circadian rhythm and just because my body clock had acclimated to that actual sleep schedule. The cool thing is you can apply this to any area of your life, whether it's, you want to work out more, or you want to, go on a diet, or you want to eat healthier. All you have to do is find somebody that you have a mutual respect with, somebody that you'd feel bad about, breaking a promise to, somebody that can hold you accountable, whether that's your friend or your coworker or your parents or your wife or your husband or your boyfriend or whatever the case may be. Find somebody that you respect and who respects you, and preferably somebody who wants to, create a more productive habit in their own life. With Tyler and myself, he wanted to work out first thing in the morning. I wanted to wake up before 9 a.m. So he would send me a video every single day for 21 days of him actually working out first thing in the morning. And I would text him before 9 a.m. And we both formed a more productive habit in our own lives. And the cool thing is you can continue to do this with people, right? I wanted to add meditation into my life. And so I told Tyler, hey, for this next 21 days, I wanna, meditate every morning for X amount of minutes. And I'd prove it to him on an actual app that tracks how many days in a row you meditate. And he added another thing of going to the actual gym 3 times a week. And so we continue to create more and more productive habits in our lives. Once you've actually done it for 21 days or more, scientifically it's been proven you're much more likely to actually stick with that habit. And if I hadn't have gamified this habit, if I hadn't have given a financial incentive to create this new habit in my life, I never would have actually stuck with it, and I never would have actually done it. And so if you know that every person is created equally, we all have 24 hours in a day, and the only difference between people who are not successful and people who are consistent execution of productive habits, I've given you the tool to actually create those productive habits in your own life. So if you don't have any friends, any family, anyone to do this with, find someone in the comments, right? No excuses. Find an accountability partner for your own life, whether it's, holding you accountable to starting a new business, or holding you accountable to exercising, or going on a diet, or waking up earlier, or whatever the case may be. Accountability partners make life so much better, because when you have productive habits, you start to find more success. And when you start to find more success, you build confidence and you feel better, and it becomes this upward cycle of success and happiness in your life. And so if you ever feel like giving up, or you ever feel like you're close to stopping right before you actually break through to success, watch this video right here. I made it just for you if you feel like quitting. I promise you, after watching, you won't want to quit anymore, and you'll want to jump right in and get started. See you there. 2 years ago, I sat down at my desk inside the small room I was renting on Craigslist, just like I had 1,000 times before.